Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. We're going to talk about something today. We're going to talk about players getting paid so much money without having to really earn it. But first, I want to read a comment from one of my viewers who continually support the channel. You are greatly appreciated. Shout out to @43vert. He says, I remember when a player would stay with the team for their whole career. No more. The old system sometimes resulted in the owners exploiting the players. I can't say the owners are being exploited in the current system, but the constant moving from team to team on a whim takes away from the whole game and the fan experience too. And as far as a role, nobody can figure it out anymore. As you said, centers used to post up. There were power forwards. There were the quick slashing point guards. Now everyone stands on the perimeter and fires threes. The worst thing is someone drives to the hoop with one step for the dunk, but instead they pass to the corner for an attempt at a three. The game has evolved into something unrecognizable and maybe not as marketable judging by the ratings the NBA gets. And I'm gonna stop right there. He wrote a little more, but I think this is kind of appropriate for what we're gonna talk about. I've probably done a few videos talking about the whole player empowerment and players being able to move from team to team, and probably even more than that. The fact that I just think players are overpaid compared to the product that we are getting. And this is always a sensitive topic for people because on one hand, @43vert said, the old system probably resulted in the owners exploiting the players. And he says, I can't say the owners are being exploited in the current system, but it is taken away from the whole game and the fans' experience too. And so, this is, how do we fix that? And if I'm being honest, to me, a part of me thinks from that standpoint, players making more money is a good thing, because if they're not making it, where's that money gonna go? It's obviously gonna go to the owners who are filthy rich to begin with, right? However, these players, because they're making so much money, they are not giving the fans the 100%. Again, going back to Michael Jordan and even Kobe Bryant, they've both said similar things. And it was something to the effect that they felt an obligation to not only try to play every game, but to give 100% in every game, because there was some fan who saved up their hard-earned money to be there. There was some kid watching who they may be the inspiration for. They felt an obligation. Jordan said that several times. And again, Kobe has said the same thing as well. But we're not getting that today at all. Like, we're getting players who... So I was watching the highlights from it might have been it was somebody LeBron was playing. I was watching the highlights from this season. And when I looked at some of these highlights, I'm gonna have to say this. This regular season games are looking like preseason games used to look. I can't even say that. To me, in the 90s, preseason games were more competitive than what a lot of these regular season games look like. it's like some of these people's like, are you gonna attempt to get the rebound? Or just because the man is in front of you, then you're just gonna let him get it? Like, it's just a lack of effort all across the board. Like, it doesn't look hopeful for the NBA. Yeah, so we're just getting this subpar product, and unfortunately, for the younger kids, it's the only thing they know. However, just because it's the only thing you know doesn't mean that it can't be better. It doesn't mean that because it's the only thing you know that it is being done in the best way. I feel like these young kids, if they were actually exposed to what 90s brand of ball looked like, it would blow their minds. And I think they would find a different level of love for the game if they were exposed to what 90s and early 2000s and 80s brand of basketball looked like. Because it was much more competitive. So it led to much more suspense. So it led to you really getting behind your team, instead of just being fans of players. And, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I feel like a lot of these people are fans of the players' personalities and not their actual game. Just like you fanboys, I think you guys just actually like LeBron James, the person who doesn't know you and could care less about you. Yeah, I think you're a fan of LeBron James, the person, which makes you defend his basketball game, which is indefensible. Anyway, we're not going to get into that this video. But, yeah, so it's just a very subpar product. However, so how do we fix this? How can we make players earn their salary? Well, I have an idea. And y'all comment, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you have ideas yourself, drop them in the comments. I think in one video I suggested that players shouldn't make so much when they first come into the league. And I kind of still believe that. I think it should be some kind of 5-year period at least before you're allowed to start earning the big bucks. However, with that, again, that still means that all that extra money is just going into owners' pockets or whatever. And so, there's probably a better solution than that. But here's what I've been thinking recently. Players should get paid. You can give them these big contracts, but the salary should be broken down into a game-by-game basis. And if you don't play, you don't earn a salary for that game. That's what I think should happen, is break these salaries down into a game-by-game basis. If you don't play, you don't get paid. If you want to load manage, you're going to be load managing your salary as well. If you only want to play 50 games a season, you're going to get 50 games worth of the money. That's what I think should happen. And, at least I think that would be a good start to making these players feel like, oh, well, I guess I got to play and get this money. And now I think that's a start as far as, making the players have to play games. But, then the trick is how do you get these players to feel like they need to go out there and really give it their all? Which is a shame that we even have to have this discussion. I thought you guys were basketball players. I thought you guys were competitive. I would dare say that me personally, I'm probably more competitive than most of the people in the NBA. Definitely when I was playing basketball. I mean, I was a highly competitive person. But yeah. So, but I really think that, if we start making these salaries, breaking them down to a game-by-game basis, so they can still potentially earn, if you got $100 million contract over 3 years or 2 years or 1 year, whatever it is, break that salary down into all 82 games and say, this is contingent. This is how much you can make if you play all 82 games. You get paid on a game-by-game basis. And at the end of the season, you play all 82 games, then you've earned all your money for that season. If you play 40 games, you've earned half of your money for that season. But like I said, then the next thing is, how do we make these players actually want to compete? How do we make these players not want to join forces with another superstar to try to win a ring? How do we make these players say, hey, I want to beat you, not play with you? I guess that's a topic for another video. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about that? What do you think about breaking player salaries down to a game-by-game basis? And also, what do you think, if anything, can be done to make players want to compete against each other instead of join each other's teams? If that's even possible. We shouldn't even have to have this discussion. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a great day today, and I'll see you next time. All right.